This is war, and one of the most exciting and the most brutal and the most incredible war. But this is a war against our system, about freedom, about the explication and the administration of law and order. This is one of the most brutal fights that we are going to win. The radical left has absolutely no idea of what they're doing. They have no idea what's going on. They have no idea how to deal with this. I'm going to explain to you what is happening right now and give you a little bit of an idea as to what the courts are doing and what the radical left is doing and what the administrative state is doing it. Let me explain. As I mentioned, we have a lot of groups of people against us. We have the deep state. The deep state implies more of a kind of an ongoing historical group of people, kind of a group that's been there forever, so to speak. This is a bureaucracy. This is deep state. These are people who've pretty much done their multiple generations, people who are bureaucracies and the like, who are protected by virtue of a host of different kind of administrative protections and the like. That's it. Next, and this is very important, there is the police state, which is still there, but that's pretty much been replaced by the intel state. And the intel state was always this group of folks who represent this group of not only FBI, CIA, but those individuals who are exactly what Truman and others fear about. Deep state, police state, intel state, shadow government, which I've talked about. But there's also something called the administrative state. And this is another group of people. These are folks who were involved in an organization, if you will, where people came along and said, we are going to be running the show. Whereas politicians would say, don't blame us, it's FEMA. It's some other particular aspect of it. It's this notion of perhaps something, this USAID, FEMA. It's not us. And nobody ever did anything to stop it because it guaranteed this perception, this continued reality of this limitless, seemingly endless example of, I don't know what the word is, the second version of government. USAID acting crazy. We had FEMA, we had others. But USAID is just a little par for the course. That was just a kind of a titular theoretical group of people who basically gave out all this money, and intel state folks, government folks, people would say, don't look at us. It's not our problem. It's not our thing. It's theirs. Now we have this other level, and this is the courts. This is Article 3. This is how the courts work. So we are breaking through more aspects, more facets, more areas of contamination, and this unscrupulous, absolute, disgusting horror. We'll be talking about this in its greatest detail. We're going to be explaining to you. I have got more for you today than you would ever imagine. Let me thank you for being with us. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being a part of this incredible effort on our part. But before we begin, my friends, I want you to pay attention, very close attention to this. Have you ever wondered what happened to the legendary Chuck Norris? I recently saw a video he made, and I was shocked. He's in his 80s and still kicking proverbial butt and working out and staying active. And what's even more shocking is he's stronger, can work out longer, and even has plenty of energy left for his grandkids. Now, he did this by just making one change. He says he still feels like he's in his 50s, and his wife even started doing the one thing too, and she's never felt better. She says she feels 10 years younger. Her body looks leaner, and she has energy all day. Chuck made a special video that explains everything. And make sure you watch it by going to chuckdefense.com/Lionel or by clicking on the link below this video. It will change the way you think about your health. And once again, that's chuckdefense.com/Lionel. Click on the link in the description below to watch the video now. And you won't believe how simple it is. And just a reminder, the legendary Chuck Norris, is a whopping 84 years old and yet has more energy than he ever has. He discovered he could create dramatic changes to his health simply focusing on 3 things that sabotage our body as we age. Watch his method by clicking the link in the description box below at chuckdefense.com/Lionel. Now, my friends, listen very carefully to what I'm saying, because this is something which is driving a lot of folks crazy, and it's very, very problematic, as you can examine or imagine. And that is, what is happening here? What is really, truly, what is happening here? Who is in charge of what? Now, let's stop for a second, and rather than throwing out kind of a generic idea about people who are corrupt and that sort of thing, but how do we explain it? So let me see if I can take this and pay very close attention, because we're going to go through this. It's a little complicated, but I think you'll understand it much, much better. I want to provide you what amounts to a kind of a comprehensive overview, something which is very, very critical. A comprehensive and, I hope, scholarly approach and analysis of the issue. Because it's important for you to understand this. It's not enough just to yell and scream and say who's who. There's a policy that's going on right now. And this is important. This is, well, let me explain to you. The first is the administrative state versus Trump. This is executive power, judicial obstruction, and the fight for government control. This is important. The first is going to be the constitutional clash over the executive power. That's what we're talking about right here. The struggle of the Trump administration and the administrative state. And I'm going to say this again to you. You've heard of deep state. You've heard of police state, intel state, shadow government, ruling class. The administrative class is what you've really got to worry about. This is not merely a partisan battle. It's a constitutional war over executive authority, judicial oversight, and the boundaries of this federal bureaucracy. Now, at its core, this conflict raises fundamental questions about who governs the United States, who runs it. Elected officials accountable to the people, or a permanent bureaucratic class that's shielded from some kind of democratic influence. Does that make any sense to you? That's what we're really talking about. It's not going to be our usual, maxi pad waters. It's going to be something along those lines. Sparky says, although USAID is a big one, there are many similar NGOs that need deleting. Garland Nixon had a great video yesterday about a pro-Ukrainian NGO run by General Kellogg's daughter. Conflict of interest? Absolutely 100%. I'm going to give you 1,000. I'm going to give you 1,000 different groups of these. For example, I could say to you, here represents the mafia. And we'll call it the mafia. And then somebody says, well, that's only not the mafia, that's organized crime. Oh, okay. Well, which family is it? Okay, we're going to move over here. Well, do you mean criminal organized crime? What about offshoots? And so we're looking at all these. USAID is one that we can look at, but look at the judges. Many of these judges are going to find family members who have been a part of this group, this corruption, and they themselves are going to be people who've come along and said, I want to be a part of this. This is 50, 60, 70, 100 years of this stuff. Cornflake General Kellogg is a low-key John Bolton. Indeed, one of many, though. But let's look at what's happening now, very interestingly enough. President Trump's former term, his efforts to dismantle this bloated, these agencies, and this reassertion of executive control over foreign and Democratic Party and bureaucratic inefficiencies have been met with fierce, 100% resistance from career officials, activist judges, political operatives, those embedded within a federal institution. The courts have become the primary weapon in this battle. And with progressive judges, this is important. This is critical right now. Now, let me explain to you also. Let me stop. In every circumstance that we're seeing right now, I could spend the rest of my life stopping and focusing in on one thing. But imagine a war. Imagine World War II. There was the Army, the Navy, Marines, air, amphibious attacks. There was intel. There was breaking of the various codes. So many aspects to this. So many aspects of this. It is absolutely brutal. Ricardo says, US aid is just the tip of the iceberg. Absolutely. Pilgrim says, civilians around me don't have a clue of the graft. 100% correct. Raul says, Trump and Musk are the knights of valor. It's true. They represent something so frightening, so incredible, so unbelievable. I don't think people understand what this thing means. They don't know what to do. And the only thing they do have right now, which I think is the most funny, are people like Maxine Waters going berserk, having these stupid, pathetic attempts at something. I guess something, maybe. I'm looking at something which is the most fascinating. We're seeing something that is so incredible. Today I'm going to be doing later on in Redacted with Natalie Norris about this. And we're asking the question, what are these judges going to be able to do? Okay? And I am telling you what they are going to be, which is the most important, is they are going to be doing something which is absolutely critical. They're going to be using whatever they can to stall this as much as possible. But President Trump has got to keep going. He has to keep going. They're not going to stop. Cannot say this enough. Cannot say this enough. I've got some great stuff I want to show you. I was watching this morning too. Some of the most exquisite stuff that Alex Jones has ever done. Owen Schroyer, absolutely some of the best. I mean, I cannot put into words how great what they're doing is. I mean, but here is the thing. It takes a while to focus on this. And that's the most important thing. The president is going to win at this. I can't say this enough. The president is going to win. This is the most important. They don't know what's happening with this. They really don't know what to do. Let me back up a little bit. And let me tell you something right now. I have never, ever had so much to deal with where I can't even speak. I can't even keep track of this. I can't get to the bottom of this. Seriously. I can't. I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything even remotely so much. You can't keep track of things. You've got each of these departments and they're going crazy. You're going to see people arrested. Homan is explaining how they're going to be effectively arresting people who are giving up information as to who is responsible for letting raids and the like happen. It's unbelievable. Listen to what I'm saying. You're going to see people who themselves, and this is important, this is critical. You're going to see people who are, I guess you might want to say, for the first time caught. And for the longest time, they've said, what is going on here? This has been going on. Let me go back a little bit. This has been going on 50 years. I'll make it simple. 50 years, the deep state has happened. Nobody, but nobody has been interested whatsoever in going back since 75 or so, since Nixon, whatever. Nobody's ever wanted to destroy the deep state. Never. They wanted to do their thing, but when it came to this deep state, administrative state, intel state, ruling class, deep shadow government, whatever you want to call it, they never cared about that. They wanted to do their thing, whether it's Nixon, whether it's LBJ, whether it's JFK, Bill Clinton for sure, Obama for sure, Biden for double sure. They loved it. They did their thing. They came along. This is important. They came along and they did they promoted their ideas, but deep state never happened. USAID, FEMA, everything. It was over there and the politicians were over here. They just let it go. They wouldn't dare interfere with this. Trump is doing something which is so ungodly. He is destroying first the deep state, the police state, intel state, big pharma. He's destroying he hasn't even done anything elsewhere. We're talking only here. Let me say this again to you. And it's important that you understand this and grasp this. He's going after what is happening here. He's destroying. He's not worrying about Germany. He's not worrying about Russia. Yeah. It's here. He's destroying the corruption and the shadow government here. They've never had this before. Nobody has ever had this before. It's unbelievable. Therese Pollard says the corruption dam in Canada has been busted again wide open. Thank you, Trump. Indeed. Pilgrim Media said, when will the human trafficking cabal be brought down? That's coming. Just wait. Wait. Barry Taylor says it's going to come down to the relationship between the president and Congress, as well as the level of legislative support of his policies. That is true. And Sparky says U.S. aid exposure will be an effective limited hang-up unless President Trump goes after other NGOs. Oh, no, absolutely. No. Do not think for a moment that USAID, that is just one. That would be like going just after the Genovese family or going after the Lucchese's. No. This is just part. This makes the most sense. The USAID is nothing compared to this. Nothing. Again, Owen Schroyer, who does a tremendous job, said that it's like being given a mint after a meal or a fortune cookie. It means nothing. It's just tiny. That was nothing. That was just one. But here is the thing. This is the point. Imagine, Sparky and others as well, you're in a store. And one of the greatest examples I've seen, you're in a store. And they used to have these wonderful pyramids, these wonderful, I don't know what you want to call it, these fruit, and they were stacked up perfectly. And I used to, they don't have them anymore, but I used to love to say, now, which one of these can I pull? And you could pull the one at the bottom and nothing happens. You could pull this one out, nothing happens. But there's one that's like right in the middle that is concomitantly holding everything under the sun. And you pull this out and it collapses. What they are doing, Barry and Pilgrim and Sparky and Therese and everyone else and Raul, is they are going at them at once. This absolute simultaneous attack. This is the most important thing ever. This is the most important thing like nobody has ever seen before. You see, Doge in the investigation treasury spending. It demonstrates that the fight is escalating. And what is happening right now is they're going after all of these particular platforms, all of these particular areas. And all they are doing is they're putting together people like Maxine Waters, who's having these stupid little mentions. It doesn't really matter. They are going to destroy all of this. I can't put this into details. I can't put this into words. I can't explain this to people. What I am seeing, there's no way for me. It is the most important thing I have ever seen in my life. It is, and what is happening with the courts in particular is the most fascinating. What I'm seeing happen with courts in particular, I think, is the most fascinating. That's what I find interesting. That's what's fascinating. The relationship between the executive and the judiciary has been absolutely contentious for the longest time. And they don't know what to do. And the very first thing is they're trying to tell you why the president cannot be a part of or do anything that can affect Doge. And it is absolutely axiomatic that he can control that which is a part of the executive division, so to speak, and up to and including foreign affairs. What do you think foreign affairs is? The foreign affairs aspect of it is what they're doing regarding USAID. They don't know what to do. So let me tell you what they're doing. They are immediately putting together as many TROs as possible. That's a temporary restraining order. And what they will do is they will go to a court and they will say, you have to stop this. Just stop. Imagine there's this, I don't know what you want to call it, just this assembly line, kind of just going by like mad. And remember, like Lucille Ball with the assembly line. And all of a sudden they're stopping. And they say, whoa, wait a minute, stop. And they stop it just for a moment. They say, now hang on a minute. We're not closing this down, but we're asking the question, what is this? And the first judge said, we're looking to see whether you're, oh, by the way, thank you, Yelena Kagan Adamo. There's a famous Adamo Drive in Tampa, by the way. You probably don't know this. They're basically asking, what are you doing right now? What are you doing in terms of that? Is this illegal? Wait a minute. Are you stopping programs? Did you just shut down USAID? For example, Sparky, just as an example, but are you shutting that down? No, wait. Are they in Syria? And one judge said there's a difference between shutting down Syria and Bethesda. So Trump is saying, the Department of Justice is saying, okay, wait. You ready to go? Good. Let's go back to business. Okay, sorry, can't stop you. TROs, temporary restraining orders, are to stop something. They did this years ago when William O. Douglas stopped something I think Nixon was doing, Vietnam, and they stopped it. But that doesn't mean they stopped the Vietnam War. They stopped the bombing. They kept going until they determined, is this a violation? And eventually William O. Douglas said, sorry, there's nothing we can do about this. It's unbelievable. Pilgrim Media said, it'll be, bring me the head of Alfredo Garcia if they hurt our agents or troops. A part of it. But first and foremost, most important of what is happening, I want you to sit back and grasp this one thing. They are freaking out. It's as though they're letting go. How do I say this? Somebody along the way said, are you ready? Good. Elon, you ready? I'm ready. Elon, you got your piece? I got my piece. You got your people? You got big balls and hairy balls? Yeah, you got that. Okay, wait, quiet. What about you? You ready for you? Yeah. You ready? Good. Heritage Foundation. Did you get this project 20? Yep, I got it. You got this one? Yep. This is all being done. And the Democrats had no earthly idea. None. They had no idea. They had no idea what to do. They had no idea what to say. They just thought, okay, we're gonna do our stuff, because we have been just for years making money, stealing money, having money distributed to us based upon a variety of different reasons. Nobody said, okay, we're just used to it. Why? Because we just do it. Nobody has stopped them. So anyway, Trump says, are you ready? Okay. And I don't know what happened, but they threw out Biden. Biden made way for Kamala. She blamed. Okay, fine. Trump comes along and he destroys everything. And then, imagine this. I'm going to make this very simple, and I'm going to tell you one of the craziest things. Imagine God. I can't think. This is the only way I can explain this. God says, I am going to F with these people like you can't believe. And they're saying, well, what do you mean? Watch. On January the 20th, they said, you ready? Ready. They had not just stacks of orders, not just things they signed. They had orders, people, teams, movements you've never seen. And it was have you ever seen a tsunami? Tsunamis are my favorite. Cut Up Chatter says, these are the most transparent gang of thieves caught like drug dealers with false plates, revoking license. Could not agree more, young lady. And thank you. I loved the tsunami. A tsunami works like this. A tsunami, imagine you're in a tub and there's the water. You know, when you slide, you move back and then you move forward, and the water goes like this and then it comes back. That's what a tsunami is. It doesn't look like much. All of a sudden, the basic water patterns, the coast, all of this is moving. All of these things. Wait a minute, where did this go? What's going on? It moves out. And they're saying, this is odd. Where is this? And then all of a sudden, it goes up and it moves in. And there is this, like an avalanche in water. It's the coast. It's a tide. It's something. And they're saying, what is this? And it just doesn't seem like much. And all of a sudden, it moves and it destroys everything. That's what this is. Not only are they coming after you, as Pilgrim says, turn off all the keyboards at official email. Turn off all the key cards at official email. Don't know what that means, but that's interesting. We're going to get to the bottom of that one. All of a sudden, what do we see? Number one, we see a movement, and we see the end of DEI. We see, this is just the movement, the award shows, the music, the people, the entertainment, the woman, that's coming this way. On the 20th, the first thing they did was that we're going to shut down USAID. That's the one. We're going to start with blocking, putting a moratorium on this particular funding. That's another one. So we've got DEI coming this way. We've got this here. You've got people saying we're going to go after, we're going to stop it. They're not even talking about the border. You notice how they're not even talking about the wall anymore? They're not talking about the wall. They're not talking about the wall. It is the weirdest thing I've ever heard. They're not talking about the wall. All of a sudden, they've stopped 100 I don't know how this thing works, but 87%, they turned around to the left. Everything here is, I'm seeing here in New York, this is in 20th. New York, the streets, they had these, there was this one on 8th Avenue, and all of these hotels are empty. All these people are gone. It's just, it's like, now the left is saying, wait a minute, what's happening here? Hold it. They're not done yet. We're moving. And they're saying, fight something, do something. Oh, let's do an injunction here. Let's try to do a TRO, temporary restraining order. Let's do it. And another one, and another one. And Trump's saying, go ahead. And here comes this incredible Doge, and Trump's just laughing. This guy is a maniac. He's having fun. He's jumping up and dancing. He's bringing his son. They're shutting everything down. You're going to see people they're going to lose. They're going to go after that General Milley. They're going to go after him. They're going to strip him of his stars. They're going to cut and destroy pensions. People are going to go. I'm telling you something. Listen to me. Somebody that you know, like Maxine Waters or Nancy Pelosi, you're going to see somebody arrested. You're going to see people that are arrested, and they're going to say, what is this? Because it's a new world happening before you. It's like nothing I've ever even thought possible. It blows my mind. This is just, there's no way around this. Let me stop for a second, my dear friend, because this is just incredible. I mean, I can't, like right now, I'm having the hardest time even getting all of this out because I've never seen anything. I started off officially in my first professional show in 1988, okay? 37 years, this is my 38th year. This is when I first started paid talk radio weekends since 1988, and have been through every version you can imagine. I was one of the first podcasters before any of us. I went before Talkers Magazine. I was with people. I introduced Alex Jones, reintroduced him in New York to the talk radio people who didn't know. They thought he was, who is this guy? I said, you don't understand what's happening here. Radio is dead. It's dead. AM radio. It's dead. This is not, okay. Jump to the head of time. Everything I'm saying is true. Everything turned out. It's a new world. The people who run the show are people who never found themselves in the position of having this much of a say. You can get one show. It's different. And Trump, it's not a Trump, it's a new Trump. It's a new everything. And the deep state, as we knew it, is falling apart. Let me try to catch my breath. I see it so clearly. This is a revolution no one will ever be able to fathom. You know, when it comes to comfort, support, and a good night's sleep, my friends, MyPillow has revolutionized the way millions of Americans rest their heads with unmatched quality, cutting-edge design, and a commitment to American-made excellence. MyPillow has become a household name. And now with MyPillow.com/Lionel, or using the promo code Lionel, you can unlock exclusive discounts and deals that bring comfort and savings right to your doorstep. That's right, my friend. Mike Lindell and the team in MyPillow aren't just selling pillows. They're on a mission to transform the sleep experience with a wide variety of products beyond their signature pillows. Whether you're looking for supportive adjustable pillows, luxurious Giza Dream sheets, cozy towel, mattress toppers that cradle your body in comfort, MyPillow offers it all. And with their 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty, you can be confident that MyPillow stands behind every product they sell. Now, why MyPillow stands out? Let me tell you, unlike generic pillows you grab off a department store shelf, MyPillow is customizable and engineered to cater to different sleep styles. Whether you're a side sleeper or a back sleeper or a stomach sleeper, their patented interlocking fill technology adjusts to your specific comfort needs, keeping your neck and spine properly aligned throughout the night. No more waking up with that sore neck, no more tossing and turning, just the restful, rejuvenating, and exhilarating sleep that you deserve. And it doesn't stop at pillows. MyPillow's Giza Dream Sheets, made from the finest Egyptian cotton, offer a smooth, breathable, and luxurious feel, turning your bed into a sleep heaven. So right now, my friends, do the right thing. Go to MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel. It's easy for me to say, MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel, or call 800-645-4965. Simply the best. Trust me. Dear friends, I want to apologize to you because of the fact that I am so overwhelmed by this. I don't even know where to start. Whatever you pick out, there's thousands of different avenues hitting us. The narrative presented here paints an intricate, labyrinthine picture of political warfare. And what it says again is this wonderful thing, and I think you thought about this as well. You mentioned it. It's about NGOs and others, but it's this administrative state. It's this group of people which for the longest time, and we've been talking about this ever since from the days of FDR. This has been targeted against President Trump's presidency. It's aimed at thwarting his attempts, his focus to reform and to stop, I guess, what he believes is a corrupt system. And at the heart of the narrative, this is the most important, is the statement that President Trump, following his reelection, knew about this and faced resistance from activist judges, radical Democrats, and the Washington elite. And he told them, I'm going to dismantle the government bureaucracy. I'm going to dismantle, and I'm going to be focusing on entities like USAID and others. And the newly introduced Doge under Elon is going to help do this. And it's going to go everywhere. And part of this, it is so interconnected. They're going to go after not only this, but they're going to go after NATO and others and the military-industrial complex. It is a labyrinth that is so complicated. And you see, USAID is perfect. We'll start with that. It's not the only one. And what I suggest, dear friends, and this is very, very important, and I want you to notice this. And I want you wonderful folks to focus this and to Sparky, and you in particular. Remember, don't go too far to bring up new topics. Don't confuse people. That's all I'm saying. Don't fuse people. Andromeda says, love seeing Elon, son of the Oval Office. Caption read, White House safe for kids again. Yes, that's true. By the way, I love the fact that kids and family and children, there's something about it, because I think one of the reasons why kids, by virtue of what Mrs. L is doing, kids aren't cared about anymore, about even being protected. Tom Malloy says the tsunami of stress and shame will be huge indeed. Cut Up Chatter says, Lionel, don't they always scream, what did I do? No, you can't know my name, see my license. Wait, is this a traffic stop or activity in the DC? You're not going to believe what happens in terms of how. See, let me give you an example. Maxine Waters has to be charged and specifically indicted. And once she is, the world's a better place. Pilgrim Media says, we believe Elon has the best forensic accountants. Nobody's ever done it. You're right. It's one of those things that, how do I say this? It's like it's complicated until somebody figures out how to do it. It's like doing when they try to research back, and they go back into time when they find somebody who, for example, let's say left a DNA spot, and then they go back and they find them, and they do marches and swabs, and they go back in time and they'll say, oh, look, somebody grab this cup, grab something. Let's get a cold case. Just do something simple. I say, well, why didn't everybody do this? Because it's brand new. Go back and get a cup. Go back in this. Look at DNA. Nobody did this before. Well, they're doing it now. What they're doing right now is they're taking a bunch of kids 19 years and older, and they're saying, here's the information, here's the data, and I'll go through it. And they're saying, okay, we know how to do it. And plus, they're putting everything through AI. AI is going to change everything. They don't understand. AI is going to bring it to the public's attention like nobody's ever thought. Bev Taylor says, since YouTube is censoring my super chat, won't send it, though. See my comments below. Thank you. Bev, everything you say can be said by taking what you want. And if, let's say, the word is target, split it, TAR space GET. Put a hyphen there. An algorithm knows how to. You can put an asterisk between a word It can be done for reasons I do not understand. But thank you, Bev. I want to hear what you have to say. Just put an asterisk. Target it. Put the number 7. It's. Look at our friend Sparky had to use the word doog. The word good was not provided for. Chris Cox says, we've been here 10 years, Lionel. We're witnessing the systematic destruction of the old guard. What a time to be alive. Absolutely. And Cobb says, I want to hear no one is above the law endlessly. Well, not only is no one above the law, but we're seeing, which is more interesting, we're seeing people, and this is the thing I want to explain. We have people who believe for the longest time that they have nothing to worry about. You see, it is your natural duty to try and get along with murder. It is for the longest thing I've ever seen. People love to just get along with get away with murder. They just don't. They said, but this is the way we've been doing it. Samantha Power. I want you to focus on Samantha Power. She is married to Cass Sunstein. These people are worth millions. Where did they get millions? 30, 40, 50 millions. Where? These people, they start off and they jumped into this corruption, the likes of which, this is a woman who claimed to be somehow connected to some path that would protect us against torture and the like. She's horrible. And she's so stupid. She's so stupid. She's going on the Rachel Maddow show and complaining how she got a memo. No, let's go through right now. Bring her in. DOJ, go after her. How did you, who has been to the government for this long, come up with $30 million? How? And by the way, there are other folks too. Other folks who it's money if it's in Cayman Islands, it's wherever it is. But I promise you, when you have supercomputers and you have groups of people who say, we know how to do this. The thing is saying is, before, nobody in the radical left was doing this. Nobody in the radical left would ever do this. They wouldn't bring it to anybody's attention. None of it. We're talking about this USAID, this slush fund for globalists pet project. This is one of many, emblematic of the bigger issues within the government, with corruption the likes of which you've never seen. And they're going to do just that. They're going to destroy it. There are going to be people who say, I don't want to run for this anymore. Do you want to be congressman? No. I don't want to go and be a congressman. In the old days, you did. Who wanted to be a congressman? You didn't make any money. But you make money now, millions and millions. And it was done untouched. It's over. And that's just one thing. We haven't, I know people are interested in the Epstein files. They're talking about the JFK files. We talked about this light. Here is this person. Here is the deep state. And what is coming at it? Left and right. War. What's right now? Trump is on the phone with Putin. And Putin is telling Trump, let me explain something to you. You can think whatever you want. I told you from the beginning, I did not want war with you. Do you hear what I'm saying? I don't want war. I don't want war with anybody. But NATO and Victoria Nuland and these folks they got this Zelensky, and they're going, I can't tell you what I think is going to happen to Zelensky, but I wouldn't buy the green bananas if I were him. Spandex says, can the deep state put the toothpaste back into the tube? No. Let me go back to this. No, not at all. Let's go back to Putin. Putin said this. Let me explain something to you. I told you from the beginning, and Trump says, I know. And Putin said, let me tell you again. I said to you, I do not want to reconfigure, reconstitute, reapply the, dare I say, the Russia or the Soviet Union. I don't want that. There was a thing Putin said. He said, anybody who doesn't believe it, anybody who doesn't miss the Soviet Union doesn't have a heart. Anybody who wants to go by doesn't have a brain. He said it that simple. That simple. But he said, I want you to understand something. You are not going to arm, listen to what I'm saying, you're not going to arm Ukraine, and they are not going to be a member of NATO on our border. End of discussion. Don't ask me to explain to you the history about this. What did they vote in? Crimea versus who's Russian, who's not. It's a long story. You want to go down to, you want to talk about the real, you know how they talk about those, they worry about, oh, America cares about Nazis. And do you know what was happening there with the Azov battalion? I mean, these are hardcore. This is what we're talking about. Anyway, I don't want to get too much into this. But he said, I'm telling you. So he met with Zelensky and he said, I want to work a deal with you. They sent Boris Johnson to tell Zelensky, oh, no, you don't. What? Oh, no, you don't. The person who was the most responsible for everything is Victoria Nuland. Victoria Nuland and these horrible, they're not even neocons. They are, I don't even know what the word is. It doesn't matter. Lisa Barnes says, what happened to Gina Haspel? It's a good question. I don't know. Bev says, the ones who have something to hide or lose, aka the gravy train, are the ones having adult tantrums. Yes, time to clean house. The bad actors must be removed from office, indicted and prosecuted. Could not say it better myself. And let me also say something to you, Bev. We need to show people charged, locked up. You need to go. Do you see where Bannon pled guilty? I made him a deal, but plead guilty. No probation, no nothing, plead guilty. And also, let me tell you something. I wish I could tell you. I can't. Because I don't want to say it, because I'm going to. But Trump has said there's certain people you're not going to hear from. He's smart enough. You see, Trump is so smart. What he's saying is, I'm 70. I'm looking at 80 years old coming up. I got nothing to lose. I want there to be one division from DOJ. You set up a grand jury and go after it. Bring in all your forensic folks. and put up, for example, Bev, the story of our dear friend Nancy Pelosi. Just go after it. And go after her. Get somebody along the line. Get somebody who's part and parcel. Getting somebody who was a co-defendant. Get somebody who might have been a part of her of her squirreling away the money. Let's get her. Let's find out. Let's put the squeeze on her. Have them flip, and all of a sudden she's charged by breaking laws. She's old, but she is going to be charged. She's going to be arrested. There's going to be a perp walk. When Rudy Giuliani was a U.S. attorney for the Southern District, he arrested people. Remember, there was Michael Milken, and there was the other guy. He arrested people. They want them to be walked. Unless you see the symbolism. You pick it. It's got to be somebody bigger than ever. The one they really want, and you're going to find somebody. It might be Schumer. And as soon as they're hit, they run. But that's when you say, I want you. And I want everybody to say, holy shit. They're serious. Up till now, they said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Nothing ever happened. Merrick Garland said, don't worry about it. It would never go anywhere. I don't even know where to start. You can't make $35 million when you have been on the government payroll. You can't do it. Show me how you can do it. Well, here's my thing. I bought Bitcoin. Okay, well, I bought this stuff. Okay. They don't have it. And Samantha Power is going to say, well, what are you doing? They're going to say, I don't know. Samantha, we could do this years ago, but we can't anymore. You don't understand this. I'm sorry, but you did it too. They've got you or whoever it is. Well, whatever. And the first time you grab them by the balls like that and you can say, there's only one way out. Give up somebody, rat somebody out. I'll do it. You think Samantha Power can do it? You think Cass Sunstein? These people think that. I can't explain this to you. You should read The Tripe. Cognitive infiltration, and they just spew this and these jadrules. I don't even know how to tell you this. There are people in, how do I say this? In blue chip, the white shoe, the elite law schools. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen the stuff they say is insanity. These people, and I'm sorry, I hate to say it, Alan Dershowitz, have you ever heard Lawrence Tribe? Have you ever heard? There is no black and white to law, to jurisprudence. If I want to get you, I will destroy you. And I'm going to get one of you. And I'm going to say, very simple question, Samantha Power. How did you get $35 million? Let's say. I'm waiting. I'm going to take the fifth. That's okay. Bring in big balls. Bring in hairy balls. Bring in Harry Dangler and Hugh Erection and Marcus. Come on in. We already figured it out. Why? We've got computers. We've got everything. We've got your entire equity. We've got everything. You and your husband too. We know where it's coming from. We've got everything that was paid to you came from somebody. You didn't just wake up one day and all of a sudden in your account and go, hey, guess what? I got 10 million. No, it came from an agency. And since the days of Jimmy Carter and Gerald Ford and Bill Clinton, Washington just did this. They just did this. It was an unwritten rule. Be a part of the government. Make millions. It's okay. Nobody stopped it. Hillary Clinton. Our friend Charles Ortel years ago, he used to talk to him all the time. He talked about the Hillary, the Clinton. Oh my God, the Clinton, what they did. Remember people like I'm looking at all these. Remember all of the folks who came together, Oprah, and I just want to have this group of people, and I just want there to say, okay, here is this thing. Come up with a complicated Washington, Hollywood, Oprah, Sean Penn, this one, that one, Lauren Michaels, Nancy Pelosi, over here, Bob Iger, all of us, this, and watch these things start connecting. And you're thinking, oh my God, not even done yet. And you realize that this thing called the deep state, the police state, the administrative state, the shadow government, whatever you want to call it, is this mechanism that just keeps, if you want to jump in, come on in. There was one judge whose daughter worked for somebody else. It's incredible. Bev Taylor, by the way, Bev's on top fire today, says, and what about the insider trading and amassing millions in the net worth from the seats of government reps? Oh, absolutely. These groups of people that have for the longest time are making, Bev, insider trading. How did they do this? I don't understand it. They were, again, I hope you understand what I'm saying, and I hope you don't. I'm having almost like a seizure. I don't know where to start. I want to find out things like, and let me go back, Bev. Another thing too is, if you have people who are saying, not only are we in charge of this, we're going to be in charge of the media. You will never hear from this or about this ever. Ever. Because we own it. It's done. Immediately, DEI, you're going to be seeing, and let me tell you something too. Do you know who wants more than anything else? YouTube and Twitter and others, they want to say, or X, they want to say, just let us do this. We want to be creators. We don't care about this. We want YouTube is still the best. There is nothing like it. You could take the rumbles and the bit shoots and this. I don't care what it is. There is nothing like it. And deep down inside, they're saying, "Would you let us alone?" Okay, we'll have some. You got to be, if you want to, monetize. Okay, fine. But that's over with. Elon Musk is the greatest thing that's ever happened. Elon Musk changed everything. Nobody cared when Hollywood came along and the radical left came along to perpetuate this nonsense, to promote and fund and accelerate all of this craziness that's going on from the left. Elon Musk is now the coolest person in the world. He's loving this. He's changed everything. And what I'm telling people is, well, he's this. During World War II, in order to crack Enigma, we used, people like Turing and others in Bletchley Park. It's the same thing. Pilgrim Media says, would RICO ever apply to what we're talking about? Absolutely. A racketeer situation? You betcha. Absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me just tell you something. To Pilgrim and to Bev Taylor. Bev, you are fiery today. Lisa Barnes, thank you. Spandex Cobbs, Chris Cox. Again, a cut up chatter. Tom Malloy, Andromeda. Excellent stuff. Kagan, got the Kagans. Sparky per usual, Barry Taylor. I'm sorry, that's Yelena Kagan. Adamo, thank you. Teresa Pollard, Raul Rodriguez, thank you. Ricardo. this is, oh man, here we go again. Martha Stewart says, went to prison for insider trading, two-tier justice. No, she went to prison for lying to the FBI. She should have said nothing. It wasn't insider trading. It wasn't insider trading. It was lying. That's why, what is it, 18 U.S.C. 1001? Lying to the feds. Don't talk to the feds. It's the Fifth Amendment. Utilize it. So anyway, but you're right about that. 2-tiered, 3-tiered, 4-tiered, absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, at 10:40, I'm going to be on the Mark Simone show. This should be good. That's number one. Number two, later on today, I'm going to be on Redacted about 4:40 or so. Plenty more videos. Got a brand new video that's out. Follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors. Make sure you follow our sister channel, if you will, at Lionel Legal. And thank you for being a part of Lionel Nation. Today, you were absolutely the best you have ever been. Absolutely the best. Dear friends, have a great and a glorious day. I'm out of breath. Sometimes I'm having trouble putting together a sentence because I've got 50 different things hitting me at the same time. It is that exciting. So, dear friend, do me a favor. Remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya and ta-ta.